But I think, and this is the gap that I identified, I think the reality is stranger than fiction, which is something that I've heard said before. I think we can use that to our advantage. And my background previously was with tech capabilities called moving target defense. Really incredible technology, didn't really take off much, but I see a lot of overlap with deception. And so my whole thing was, I don't really want to spend hours and hours setting up these like fake personas and deception operations, although I think AI can really help with that. And so there are a lot of companies out there that do that and probably do it well. I haven't used them personally, but it's something definitely to check out. For me, I don't want to try to sell anything. I would rather just use what is already in use and turn that into a deception. So that was kind of my little lightning bolt moment. I'm going to turn the things, especially focusing on privileged users, because every incident I've been in, and if you look at statistics from Verizon's reports and all the reports out there, they go after privileged users. That's what they do. That's 90-something% of it. That's because that gets them access to what they want. I've never been involved in an incident where it didn't involve them at least trying to get privileged users, or they got privileged users, and it's because that gives them the ability to access and interact with things they want to access to. So I think we should use that. Okay, so again, going back to the R.V. Jones, I really like this quote from him. I had the same thinking before I read this quote, so I that's nice that I'm thinking at least in that similar way to him. But no imitation can be perfect without being the real thing. So yeah, for me, I don't want to create fake stuff. I want to use my things, and then I want to deceptively slip out the back door while my stuff keeps working. And if I'm not using it now, but if anyone starts using it, like someone that has been silently watching me, I will get alerted, and that's what I built. In the future, it would appear, if you listen to the Gartners and the Forresters of the world, who definitely try to do a great job giving the constraints they're in, but realistic AI generated scenarios that are context driven to sell the deception, I think is definitely going to be. That's what it seems like everyone's doing. That I think that's really cool. But for me, more computation and more analysis is not the solution, in my opinion. I would rather have it come down to the adversary knows something or they don't know something. So I want them to have to put a body into every single organization. I want them to have to put in that effort, really hard effort, to maintain that access. So why mess around with fake resources if you can, or just at least supplement it, trying to make them look real to convince an adversary. With my background in moving target and then now getting more into deception, I'm like, why don't I just put those together? There are a lot of similarities. So I call it in-use deception is what I'm calling it. Yeah, and again, 99% of the time they're going to be going after your privileged credentials and your other privileged resources, because that's what leads them to get access to all the other things they want. Not always, but most of the time.